Hello, my dear beings, uh, be it mineral, vegetable, animal, including human, aliens, energy entities, like we will all become. Uh, Here's Spiritual Village, PhD. I'm going to talk about several, I will make several videos with the topic of entanglement, quantity entanglement. Uh, there are so many things to say about this subject that to put it everything in one video will be too long and will tire everybody. Okay. Uh, Now let's start with a few things, with some preambles, some introduction. Uh, uh, a long time ago, in 1966, I used to study and work with quantum field theory. And at that time, I already became good enough in this stuff uh, so that my PhD dissertation was using some concept of quantum field theory, but was not in physics. Okay? Let me explain why. When I was working with physics, I thought that physics was too simple. I was young and I thought that physics was too simple and I needed to have something more complicated, more challenging. Therefore, to have something more challenging, I thought let's look for something that have behavior, human behavior. And then I end up working in decision making, quantitative decision making, uh, and how to relate stuff in math applied to decision making. Okay, but under it, most of the concepts that I use were from physics, the mathematics that I learned in physics, the the ideas that I learned in physics. Uh, so now I'm returning to this stuff, entanglement. As a matter of fact, my PhD dissertation had one topic. I developed several topics, but one topic that was called dependence, statistical dependence. And in the end, the kind of entanglement. Okay? Therefore, later on in other videos, I will talk about entanglement of first order, second order, third order, so on and so forth. Okay, nobody thought about this thing, right? Okay, something that you will learn with me. I just invented it. Uh, but you can think about in this stuff while I continue talking about this thing. Uh, but what it is entanglement? Entanglement is when you have two particles that are working together. Okay, can be it a photon, can be an electron, proton, an atom, a molecule, and I will spend it further for more things, even for people. Okay, we can have even entangled people. Uh, uh, if two particles came together at some moment, then they are like Siamese. they are they they are twin. They live. They uh, let's get the common example. If you take an electron has a spin, okay, and if you have one electron with the spin is up, and another electron entangled with this with the spin down. If you move them far apart, what happened with one will be sensed by the other. No, instantly can be as far as the other side of the universe. Okay. It, as Albert Einstein said, this seems to be spooky, right? Phantasmagoric. But the physicists have experimented, tested again, and seems that this is a phenomenon that really exists. Okay, if this phenomenon exists, we should study it so that we can use it for some useful purpose. Okay. But first, let's talk about a few other things. We should mention Richard Feynman. And Richard Feynman have some example like a photon that was generated in the Big Bang when it arrives to my eyes, to my retina, today, almost 14 billion years after the creation of this photon and the travel of this photon, the photon knows that he's coming to my eye. You will say, well, how come? How could he know 14 billion years ago that he was coming to my eye? seems that they have a understanding, even in time. Because for the photon, he is traveling at the speed of light, therefore time does not pass. Therefore, it's like if he arrived instantly to my eyes. It seems to be rational, but but it's spooky, right? And therefore, in quantum mechanics, a lot of things are not so obvious because we don't have this kind of experience, okay? But I am hopeful that we will improve a lot. Like communication, instant communication, telepathy, uh, teleportation. Seems that during humanity, there were moments that some flashes of this occur, of kind of entanglement, but it's not common enough so that we don't have that common experience. But I think that we will be more motivated to pay attention to this concept, and we will start being able to use it more often. Okay. And I envision that in the future, I hope that in the near future, not the further away future, we can use this entanglement in many different ways. Okay? Because it seems that every single particle in the universe is tangled with all the other. Around the several interactions that there were in the world and the universe, in the infinity, they become entangled. The problem is that I think that's my contribution right now. There are different levels of entanglement. First level or order, second order of entanglement, and so on and so forth. Like a concept that I developed for dependence, statistical dependence. You have a first order statistical dependence, second order statistical dependence, so on and so forth. Okay? Each one contributes to the dependence. And also the entanglement, I think that is a little more sophisticated. It's not only yes or no. Probably there are several levels of entanglement. Partial entanglement, total entanglement, first order of entanglement, second order of entanglement, so on and so forth. Okay. It's like the effect of several uh, elements in the universe, planets, satellites that affect gravitational pull to each other. Okay, the big ones probably have a first order degree of gravity, and will be also first order degree of entanglement, and other would have a second degree, second order of entanglement, so on and so forth. Okay. Uh, Therefore, the computation will, the precision of the result will depend how further you want to go in the precision in computing the effect of entanglement. But returning to Feynman, therefore, my eye, my retina, talks today, talks with the photon of 14 billion years ago, and decide to get together. I'm very interesting, very interesting. Probably this idea of entanglement and correlated stuff, when we really will understand that, it will be so simple, so clear, that we will say, God, why didn't we see this before? It's so simple. How could we be so stupid for so millions of years that we didn't see how simple is this stuff and how to use it? Okay, that's my hope. That's my hope. Okay. Okay. Therefore, another things that you could use entanglement not only for teleportation. One thing that nobody yet verbalized, let me verbalize now. Suppose that I want to visit the other side of the universe. Okay. I then think about my twin that's in the other side of the universe, and let's change. You come to here and I go there. You can visit here and I visit there. Okay. Therefore, we could have travel, space travel instantly, time travel instantly. We could go to the future. We could go to the past with this idea of entanglement. Okay. How to do this? I think that will be something so easy that it's like you desire, you think about, and the thing will happen. Okay? You will not need a complicated technology, nothing like that. You will be basing unconscious, that is energy, and will be interesting. And disentanglement also gives some idea of relating with everything in the universe, not only animals, not only vegetables, but also mineral and energy levels. Okay? Like our conscience, probably my conscience could be entangled with everybody's conscience, even when my earthly body dies, my conscience survives and can continue this entangling process and interactions with all the souls, conscious. No need to say soul, it's conscious, okay? When you say souls, usually you relate to a specific religion. No, you don't need it. You need to have a spiritual dimension. All of us have many dimensions, okay? Our value system have many dimensions, okay? That's one thing that I work a lot. Like when I am working with values, I usually have 12 dimensions: economic value, political value, social value, spiritual value, uh, ecological, so on and so forth. Okay. When I am very creative, I can imagine 12 dimensions. I have written down somewhere, and also these values, I already have put them in order, okay, in ordinal scale. I'm working now in a more cardinal scale. How much bigger is one value than previous value, okay? And how to compose this thing to have a whole direction. And another thing, all the values that we have in the moment are bad for the moment and worse for the future. That's why we should be always working in creating new values that have better consequences, not bad consequences that our values have now. But I have a good value. No, all your values are bad. You didn't study them enough to see all the bad consequences that you have, your values have. Always you can think about a new set of values that are better than the ones that you have now, or in other words, have better consequences than the one that you have now. Okay. Another byproduct of this entanglement is the idea of democracy with wisdom. But we can have then entangled democracy with wisdom, okay? I'm also in favor of scrapping all the governments. No need for legislative, executive, judiciary, defense, whatever. Distinguish them. We will have the people deciding what they want. All this decision will be by the people in a democracy manner, but with wisdom. The wisdom is the weight that each one gives to his ideas. You can have a high weight for when you are opinating about the economy, but in opinating for social methods, you may decide that your opinion have a lower weight. Okay, and you can have a convergence of your opinion. Okay. Why this? Because first, the judicial system is very unjust. Instead of having lawyers and all kind of judge, okay. No need for that. Why waste money and time for this? The people will decide how the judicial matter. The people will decide how the legislative matter. The people will decide how the executive matter. The people will decide how the defense matter. Okay. I think that already long enough this first video in Entanglement. I will stop by now and leave to the second video on Entanglement. The rest of it, and the third, the fourth, the fifth, probably a half a dozen of video about entanglement. Okay. I think that a lot of ideas. I hope that I didn't lose you. I jumped too many topics around, but they are all correlated, okay? They are all correlated. There are all kinds of entanglements. Please do give your like, and I would love if you could criticize and give suggestions for improving this presentation, or if you have any question that you would discuss, just send me a question and I will be glad to answer if I know the answer, but I always will find an answer. At least as good as anyone can give you, or better. That will make you satisfied. Also, you can share these ideas with everybody. The more that people share these ideas, more entangled we are. If we are more entangled, we will be more loving, because all the others, not are others, are us, because we are entangled. Okay? Therefore, no reason for hate anyone, to have racism, all kind of this nonsense. Okay? And please, I would appreciate also if you could uh, sign up in my channel, uh, so that we can continue this conversation. And thank you very much for your attention. And good luck with my entangled friends, people, things, whatever.